right, let's be on the record in case number 2019 CR 1175, captioned State of Kansas versus Dakota Gibson. Would the parties announce their appearances, please?
May it please the court, Candace Alvarez appears on behalf of the state.
May it please the court, Dakota Gibson appears with Christopher Cuevas. We both appear by Zoom. Judge, I explained to him that he has a right to appear personally in your courtroom. We're waiving that right and requested to appear remotely.
Is that correct, Mr. Gibson?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. We are here set down for a sentencing today. Looks like back on June 23rd, the parties appeared also by Zoom. At that time, the defendant changed his plea from one of not guilty to guilty to the first two counts. The other counts were dismissed. I inquired and accepted that plea, ordered a pre-sentence investigation, and set it for sentencing today. I've received a copy of that pre-sentence investigation. The critical findings are as follows. The primary offense of conviction is one of burglary, which is a severity level 9 non-person felony. The defendant's criminal history score was found to be that of D, as in David. That would leave him with a presumption of probation and a presumed underlying sentence of 11, 12, or 13 months. If he has to do that time, he'll be eligible for 20% good time credit and subject to post-release supervision duration of 12 months. If he's granted probation today, it will be for a period of 12 months to court services. The second count of conviction is one of attempted burglary. That is a severity level 10 non-person felony. For scoring purposes, the defendant's criminal history score is considered I. That would leave him again with a presumptive probation sentence and an underlying presumed range of 8, 9, or 10 months. The same 20% good time credit, 12 months post-release, and 12 months probation. I'll ask you first, Ms. Alvarez, did you have a chance to look at the PSI? Do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges to those findings?
Judge, I have reviewed it and I don't have any corrections or additions.
All right, Mr. Cuevas, same question.
Judge, I reviewed it. I do not have any objections, or I do not note any corrections. I also went over the score, the list of priors, and the presumption with Mr. Gibson, and we do not object.
All right. Mr. Gibson, you heard what your lawyer said. He said he went over this PSI, particularly that criminal history scoring, and that you have no challenges to that. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty, thank you. I will adopt the findings of the pre-sentence investigation for today's hearing. Comments on sentencing, Ms. Alvarez?
Judge, we would just ask that you follow the plea agreement in this case, which was that counts 1 and 2 would run concurrently. Within that, we would just ask for the standard number and leave the cost and fees to the discretion of the court.
I know in the plea agreement, there was an agreement to pay restitution even on the dismissed counts. Does the state have a number for that?
Judge, there is no restitution.
Okay, all right. Mr. Cuevas, comments upon sentencing?
No, Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the recommendation.
All right. Mr. Gibson, now is your opportunity to tell me anything you want me to know in mitigation of your sentence today.
I don't have anything at the moment, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Cuevas, do you or your client know any legal reason why I should not now proceed to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to follow the plea agreement. As to count 1, the burglary count with a severity level of 9, a criminal history score of D, the defendant will be sentenced to the standard range of 12 months. If he has to do that time, he'll be eligible for 20% good time credit and subject to 12 months of post-release supervision. As to count 2, the attempted burglary, he'll be sentenced to the standard range of 9 months. And again, if he has to do that time, he'll be eligible for the same 20% and subject to the same 12 months. Those counts are ordered to run concurrently with one another. The defendant's application for probation is considered and is hereby granted to adult court services for a period of 12 months. All right. let's talk about costs and fees. Mr. Gibson, are you currently working?
Yes, Your Honor. I just got a job yesterday.
All right, what are you doing?
Warehouse work at American Eagle.
Oh, good. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your living arrangement. Do you own a house, rent a house, live with someone else?
I live with my grandma.
Okay. All right. Do you pay any rent, pay the bills, anything like that?
No, Your Honor.
Pardon?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any kids that you have to take care of, anything like that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, it sounds like you have the means to do it. So I'm going to order the costs of the case as well as the supervision fee. Um, as a D, this is not the defendant's first felony conviction. Is he already in the database by any chance? Do you know, Mr. Cuevas? Let me look at his.
It's a juvenile
Oh.
case, so he might be.
All right. Well, I'm going to order the fee because I don't think they do the DNA. Well, how old was this juvenile conviction? Let me take a look. 18. Miss Alcaraz, can you enlighten us at all? Do you know if they would have taken his DNA?
Judge, I'm not sure that they do it for the juveniles.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to order that. If we find out that he's already in the database fee, obviously they'll go back and they won't make him pay again. There will be no fine in the case. Mr. Cuevas, do you have an idea what your attorney fees are?
About $500.
All right, I think that's an appropriate amount, and I'm going to order, let's say 300 of that for the defendant. I think he can do that, and it sounds like he's gainfully employed. So that would leave him 500, about less than $700 in total payments. If he were to pay $100 a month, he would have that paid off before his probation is up. So I think that's an appropriate payment plan of $100 a month should get him paid off. And it sounds like something the defendant can financially meet. All right. Mr. Gibson, you have 14 days from today to appeal anything you do not like about your sentence. You also have the right to seek expungement of this after a period of time following successful completion of probation. Mr. Cuevas can tell you more about that. As a convicted felon, it's prohibited for you to own or possess a firearm, certain kind of deadly cutting instruments like dirks, daggers, switchblades, basically knives that could be considered deadly weapons. Before you own or possess a deadly weapon like that, make sure you talk to a good lawyer like Mr. Cuevas to make sure that it wouldn't be a reason to revoke a probation or add new charges, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Alcaraz, anything I failed to cover today?
No, Judge, I think we've hit everything.
Mr. Cuevas?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Mr. Gibson. I'm sure you're going to do well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We are adjourned. Everybody have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend. Amanda, we'll see you at 11:30.
All righty.
Thank you.
Bye.